Alcohol was created to lower human consciousness. It was used to control us. It is used to lower our vibration. Al-kuhl is the Arabic term for alcohol, which means body-eating spirit. It is a way of lowering our vibration so much it can allow for external, negative, and even demonic energies to enter our system. My name is Angela Cleary. I'm a feminine empowerment coach and I specialise in healing after narcissistic abuse. Alcohol has a very good way of controlling us. It has a way of lowering our inhibitions, but it has a very good way of changing us into people that we're not, changing us into something that we're not. It has a way of taking over us. And that's the thing, right? I don't drink at all anymore, but when I did, I drank an awful lot. I took drugs as well, and I never, ever lost control of my mind or my inhibitions on drugs, but I always lost control on alcohol. Alcohol is dangerous, and it's the legal one. You know what I mean? You think that drugs or anything that's illegal is the stuff that's bad for you. And I'm not condoning drugs by any means, but some drugs can actually open your mind and expand your consciousness. Whereas alcohol lowers your vibration and closes your mind. And it makes you do things that you would not normally do. There's a quote here. When we consume high volumes of alcohol, we're in effect extracting our soul essence out of our body. The environment becomes so polluted and toxic that our true spirit has no choice but to leave until conditions are better. This leaves room for other entities and lower vibrational frequencies to enter. And this is a fact. When you look back on times that you consumed high levels of alcohol, can you look back with pride or happiness, or do you look back with regret? Because guaranteed you will look back with regret. The one thing I used to hate most of, I suppose, about alcohol is you forget. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I know in my heart and soul, like, when I was drinking with my friends, I was happy. When I was drinking with my exes, I was unhappy, and I used to get angry. I actually used to get violent as well. And I remember even when I was a teenager, the thing with alcohol, right? The thing with alcohol, if you tell a drunk person something, or if a drunk person takes something the wrong way, you cannot fix that. This is just tunnel vision, and we explode. We actually explode. There's no talking a drunk person out of something when they get a notion. I used to kick down doors. I used to get so angry. Like, there was one night I was living with friends, and I said, like, my friend and his girlfriend could use my room for the night because I'd be up drinking all night. It was grand. I forgot this, got excessively drunk, and kicked in my bedroom door and broke my bedroom door because they were in my room. Does that make sense? No. I fought with my friends when I was drinking, when I was younger, because of stuff that happened. You know what I mean? I used to get violent and angry with my exes, obviously because I was in an unhappy relationship and I drank excessively. But I drank the same amount of alcohol with my friends and I'd be fine. The amount of times I have scars on my face from waking up with cuts and bruises on my face and my arms and my legs. You know what I mean? I'd lose all sense of control. One of the worst things in my life happened to me when I was actually passed out drunk. Drinking is quite dangerous. And like, since I stopped drinking alcohol, you know, I'd go out clubs and I'd see girls who remind me of how I was when I was drinking. They can't see in front of their faces. This is dangerous. You know what I mean? We're high vibrational souls. Alcohol was created to take us away from our souls. Do you know, and alcohol is an active depressant. I became dependent on alcohol in my 20s because my ex-narcissist was an alcoholic and he drank every day. So if you can't beat him, join him. And I was very unhappy as well. So I was actually drowning out the reality of my thoughts of this world. And that's the thing as well. We make such bad decisions when we're drunk. You know what I mean? I spent a lot of that relationship when I was sober questioning, did I even like him or fancy him? And I get drunk just to fancy him. Do you get me? You know, and the amount of regrets we make through alcohol. And that's another thing. Alcohol makes you think you're horny. No, you're fucking not. This is why people should not date while they're drinking. No, and I remember this when I started to give up alcohol, right? When I used to drink, I used to think with my box. And I used to have beer goggles on, and I used to have, you know, if the person was still there the next morning, I would have regrets because I wouldn't even be attracted to that person. You know what I mean? And I remember when I started to give up alcohol, I remember saying to my friend one night, I was still drinking and I was getting a little bit tipsy. And there was a guy there that I didn't want to sleep with, but my box was telling me, oh, maybe I want to sleep with him. And I actually said to my friend, I was like, you have to stop me, because I know through alcohol I would do that. And I know sober Angela does not want to do that. And that's when I started to cop on. And that's one of the main reasons that I don't drink alcohol, is because it lowers human consciousness. You know, and this is the thing with Ireland. Fucking Ireland, Jesus Christ. It's like, oh, if you're Irish, you're born to drink. Like, I used to say I had alcohol in my blood when I was conceived, so therefore, you know, I'm born a drinker. And that was the hardest part of giving up alcohol for me, is giving up alcohol in Ireland. Because if you give up alcohol, you're on antibiotics, or are you pregnant, or, you know, are you sick, are you unwell? Do you know, and I got such ridicule for giving up alcohol. You know what I mean? I was discriminated against, in a sense. Like, because that's the thing, alcohol was created to control the masses. And that's what we do. We are ineffectively living for the weekend. We are, like, literally, when I was working a Monday to Friday job, I'd get paid on a Thursday. What did we do on a Thursday? We went to the fucking pub. Friday mornings were very hungover or very drunk, and that was dangerous because I used to work with a knife. Do you know what I mean? But we lived for the weekend. My money went on my bills, the basics of food and alcohol. You know, if you went on a road trip or a holiday, you go to the pub. You go to a wedding, you're in the pub before the wedding. You go on holiday, no matter if your flight is at fucking 5 o'clock in the morning or 3 or 10 o'clock at night, you go to that bar to wait for your flight. You get onto the plane, you take a drink, you know, and you drink for most of the holiday. Like, the last 2 holidays I went on, I wasn't drinking, and it was amazing. I went to a festival over in England, and it was absolutely amazing. And I remember being on the flight home the next morning, and the whole flight had been at this festival, the whole flight come back to Ireland, and they were all fucking dying. And I was there kind of going, I'm so glad I don't fucking drink anymore. Because that's the thing, you know, the pain and regret we get from alcohol. Alcohol is an active depressant. And that's why it's used to control, in a sense. Because when I was dependent on alcohol, it was a vicious circle. I was drinking to mask my thoughts. But then the next day when I'd sober up, I needed more drink because I was depressed from drinking the night before, but also depressed from my life. So therefore I needed to drink more in order to not think. This is the way it controls you and lowers your vibration. You know, and your health. Your health is shit because you're not eating right, you're not sleeping right, even though you think you're sleeping right because you're passed out. And I used to pass out completely. It's so fucking dangerous. Like, you know, to be so, like, asleep on alcohol that you don't wake up, like, even if somebody's shaking you. Like, my ex used to have videos of him and his friends playing the guitar into my ear, and I was lying there comatose. Do you know what I mean? I wouldn't wake up. That is not safe. You know, and there's girls, like the way I used to be as well, like, you know, I'm surprised I didn't die as a fucking teenager because I was so irresponsible with alcohol. Do you know what I mean? It's used to lower who we are, and it lowers our inhibitions so much. It makes us do things that we wouldn't normally do. It changes us into monsters if we're not doing that inner work. You know what I mean? My ex even called me a monster when he's like, you can't drink cider, you turn into a monster. It wasn't that I couldn't drink cider. I could drink cider with my friends and I would be the life and soul of the party. But if I drank cider with my ex, I would get drunk really quickly. And that was the problem. I'd get excessively drunk and I'd get angry with my life, and then I'd take it out on him and I would get violent. Now, this is not good. Like, do you know what I mean? The person I was because of alcohol is not the person that I am or who I ever really truly was. And, you know, the reason I drank excessively for years, and I drank irresponsibly for years, and I had no stop switch. But they were the years that I was with my toxic relationships. And a lot of the time, when I started to sober up, I started to see the world differently. And then I started to question, because when I understood that alcohol lowers your consciousness, I started to question, when was the last time I had control of my mind? Because I'd been drinking since I was 14, 15, obviously on and off. But then I ended up in an 8-year relationship with somebody who drank every day. So I was drunk for most of my 20s. And then until I started to understand how much alcohol had a control, that's when I questioned, when was the last time I had no alcohol in my system? Because even when I started to sober up or started to reduce my alcohol intake, I still drank at least 1 or 2 bottles every day after work, and then I drink at the weekend. So every single day I had alcohol in my system, even if I wasn't getting drunk. And I was like, when was the last time I gave up alcohol for 40 days in 2014 for a traumatic incident that happened because of alcohol. And that's the only time I actually went without alcohol, I say, since I was at least 20. So I actually wanted to know, what would it be like to have control over my mind, to actually live with a clear conscience and not have alcohol control me. And this is the reason I don't drink. It's one of the reasons, but it is the main reason I give up alcohol. It's so that I could actually see what it was like to feel and understand my mind without it being possessed by alcohol. Because that's what alcohol does. It possesses you. It changes you into something that you're not. It makes you do things you don't want to do. This is why dating is not good when you're drunk. Because literally, you think you're horny. You think you need sex because you're drinking. You do not need sex. If you're sober and you're talking to this person, this is the thing, I'm watching a dating show at the moment. I watch dating shows for research. I like to see people's tics. I like to understand them. And this reminds me of me back in the day. But it's really, really disheartening, because you're looking at these people. They're grown adults with high-level insecurities. They're drinking on their dates and they're highly sexual. They're highly verbal about wanting to have sex because it's desperation. I used to be like that. When I was a drinker, I used to get highly sexual. Now, I have nothing wrong with being a highly sexual person. Own your sexuality. Love that. Be dirty. Do what you like. Nothing against it. But when you get drunk, you get fucking pervy. I used to get pervy. These people are going on dates. Their high-level insecurity mixed with fucking alcohol is making them into perverts. And their speech about sexuality is disgusting. It's really disgusting. And I'm looking at it going, oh my God, I used to be like that. And it's just like, ew, ugh, heal your shit. You know what I mean? Heal your shit and don't drink while you're dating, because it makes you fucking pervy. And it's not attractive. It's really not. And it reminds me of how I used to be. This is not a good way to be. It's disgusting. It's disrespectful to the other person. That's the thing. This is why inner healing is so important. And for me with alcohol, it's not that difficult to give up a substance if you do the inner work. Now, it is difficult. It is. And I condone or, well done to anyone who's able to give it up. It is a difficult task. But a lot of the times people give up a substance, they're going about it the wrong way. They're going cold turkey. They're not doing the inner work. You can't heal an addiction without discovering why it's there in the first place. So therefore, you can't heal your addiction to alcohol unless you actually understand why you're drinking in the first place. Meditation is a great way of overcoming, alcohol. I ended up actually accidentally giving up alcohol. I had thought about giving up. No, actually, I hadn't really thought about giving up alcohol. I had reduced my alcohol intake. But I never, ever saw myself giving up alcohol. And literally, in the space of 1 month of doing meditations and healing my inner child, I went from being in the shop, going to the party, buying alcohol, walking past non-alcoholic beer and saying to my friend, why the fuck would you drink non-alcoholic beer? You need it for the buzz. Why would you even want to taste it? 1 month later, going to the same house, same party, and I was buying non-alcoholic beer and drinking it, realising that, yes, I want the taste of alcohol, I don't want the buzz. When you heal your demons, you won't need alcohol. And that's the thing, I think alcohol actually enhances your demons because it is a demonic substance. Alcohol is the demon drink. It allows your vibration to lower so much. It allows dark entities and lower vibrational frequency into your body. And it makes you do things that you don't want to do. A lot of the time you wake up the morning after a session and you can't remember the night before, but you feel like shit. And you know you did nasty things. You just know you did embarrassing things. And you feel like shit. And then you got beer fear on top of it. And then the psychological hangover is worse than anything in the world, because you're sitting there fucking embarrassed over things that happened when you were a fucking teenager. All this stuff comes pouring into your brain, making you feel shittier and making you want that next drink. You know, we don't have confidence without a drink. We're getting excessively drunk just to dance. I dance now without alcohol. We need to find our confidence without it. This is the reason it was invented. And like this whole, I believe that alcohol was invented, right, to lower human consciousness, to control the people. Then prohibition came in as a way of going, here, you know, you want this and this is going to control you forever. And this is why people became addicted and dependent on it. You know, trying to get something they weren't allowed to have. But this is what the world did. The negative entities of this world for generations did. They created this substance to control the masses, to put fear in the people and to control people. Do you know what I mean? Like, people are so dependent on alcohol now, and even if it's not for addiction reasons or for drowning your demons, it is controlling. You know what I mean? Like, everything revolves around alcohol. Go to a wedding, you're drinking. Go on holiday, you're drinking. You know, at the weekend, you're drinking. Do you know what I mean? You live for the weekend, you buy a drink. You know, come home from work, you pour a glass of wine or you grab a beer. It's a vicious cycle, and it is controlled. It's codependency. Do you know what I mean? Because people need a substance to not think. But if you heal the demons within you, you're not going to need it. You're not going to need it. When you become happy within yourself, you're not going to need a substance to relieve yourself, because you're going to be happy in your own skin. Don't let alcohol control you, because that's what it does. It lowers your vibration, it lowers your consciousness, it lowers your connection to your own soul, and therefore lowers your connection to your own mind and your own intuition. You know what I mean? And I'm telling you, when you get control back of your mind and your body, you will never let alcohol take you again. And that's the thing, you know, I even, part of me was questioning, did I want to give up alcohol, because my friends were still drinking. And the first Christmas that I'd given up alcohol, I said, I'm going to get drunk now with my friends on Stephen's Day, just as a treat. I started to get tipsy, and I was like, I do not like this anymore. I could feel my mind going. I could feel my control leaving my body. And I was like, I'm done. That is the last time I will ever get tipsy. And I started drinking water to sober up, because I felt so uncomfortable. I could feel like I was detaching from my body. I could feel like I was about to lose control. And that was it. I was like, never, ever again. And that's it. I am in control of my mind and body now. I will not let dark entities into me, because I will not let that demonic substance into my system ever again. It is the best way to lower your consciousness. So if you want to disconnect from your soul, stay drinking. But if you want to connect with your mind, your body, your soul, with the cosmos, with the universe, with God, don't drink. You know, get that freedom back. Don't let the masses control you with this substance. Don't let your body and soul be open to dark entities, demonic entities, by drinking this substance. You do not need alcohol to be happy. You do not need alcohol to have fun. We can dance without alcohol. We can be happy. We can be merry. We can enjoy life without alcohol. Alcohol is a controlling substance to lower your consciousness, to take you away from who you really are, and to make you codependent, addicted, and controlled. That's what it does. It lowers your consciousness, It lowers your abilities. It lowers your inhibitions. It takes you away from who you are, and it makes you do things that you would not do. It makes you do people you would not normally do. So one thing I have to advise you on definitely is either give up alcohol, heal your inner shit to give up alcohol through meditation, through inner healing. But please do not drink while you're dating. Please do not drink while you're dating. You are not actually horny. This is false. This is going to make you do stuff that you regret. Alcohol is a demonic substance that makes you think with your box instead of with your mind. So have a little respect for yourself. Don't drink alcohol on that date. Do not date while you're drinking, because this really does lower your inhibitions and make you do things that you will regret. So stay safe. Stay safe. And if you are going to drink in moderation, and do not let it get to a stage where it lowers your consciousness. So thank you so much for listening today, and I really hope this resonates. If it does, please like and share, and please subscribe to my channel so I can reach as many people as possible. And if you would like help in your journey, please book me for a discovery call today, and I would love nothing more than to help you on your path.